This is a review of The Roshans, a deeply personal documentary directed by Mr. Shashi Ranjan. Should you watch it or should you skip it? Let's find out. The Roshan family's contribution spans about 60 years in the industry. The first episode starts with Hrithik's grandfather, Mr. Roshan Lal Nagrath. I wasn't born when he was composing his songs, but later on in my adulthood, as I started appreciating the old songs, I realized his brilliance. In the first episode, Asha Bhosle, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, Javed Akhtar come in as cameos and explain a lot about him and his work. They say he composed songs not just for the situation in the film. He composed songs for the full emotion, the full story of the film, which was his brilliance. And many of his songs are very melodious even today. Like, let me just, point out to one song, Laga Chunri Mein Daag, a beautiful song, the old one. Even a movie has been made with this name. So his brilliance I came to know and felt really touched by what a man he was. And he was a highly respected music director and composer in the industry. And his contributions really hats off to him. The second chapter goes into the story of Mr. Rajesh Roshan, the brother of Mr. Rakesh Roshan, whose work. Here we have Sonu Nigam, Alka Yagnik, Kumar Sanu, Javed Akhtar, many others talking about their experiences with him. His songs, of course, I've grown up with it. And the songs I remember one song is to be mentioned, and I didn't know it was his composition, but remember the song Amitabh Bachchan sings, Mere paas aao, mere dosto, ek kissa suno. That was a Rajesh Roshan composition. Brilliant. It was really a treat to watch and listen to his story. And what struck me was his dedication, his focus, and his hard work in composing and putting in a lot of finer details into his songs. And his songs were uniquely different from many other songs of that era. The third episode goes into the story of Mr. Rakesh Roshan. Mr. Rakesh Roshan started as an actor. And I remember in my younger days, I've seen his films. And I liked him. He was quite muscular, good solid shoulders and chest compared to many other actors who had pot bellies. And he looked more fitter than many other heroes of that time. Mr. Rakesh Roshan, his story is very heart-touching. And even when he talks about his father, his love and respect for his father comes genuinely. And actually, I was moved to tears, when I remembered my father, when he was talking about his father. Mr. Rakesh Roshan's struggles are huge. He started as an actor and his films were not doing very well. And he was compared to his very good friends who were super hit stars in the industry. And there were occasions when at some parties, when he was standing next to his very good friends whose films were successful and they were stars, and his films were not really big. So the reporters or photographers, they used to ask him to step aside so they could take photographs with his friends who were successful actors. This was painful for Mr. Rakesh Roshan. And he was hurt and did feel bad about it. He and his wife both felt bad about it. And then later on, he continued working. His films were good, he acted well, but somehow they didn't click on the box office. Then he went on to become a producer. And from there, he moved on to become a director, and he became a super hit director. Now, they say that his track record is 100% hits, Mr. Rakesh Roshan. And here we have many celebrities coming in to talk about him, including Shatrughan Sinha, Anil Kapoor, Ranbir Kapoor, and Madhuri Dixit, and many others who come and talk about Mr. Rakesh Roshan's work. Sanjay Leela Bhansali also talk about how he was inspired by Mr. Rakesh Roshan's direction. And then there is a brief mention about him getting shot and They say he actually, when he got shot, he actually drove the car himself to the hospital, which is something like what a film action hero would do, which is really hats off to this man. And I really felt inspired, motivated by Mr. Rakesh Roshan's story. And it filled my heart with a lot of warmth, seeing the struggles and triumphs of this man. Really, Mr. Rakesh Roshan, you're a real life hero. The fourth episode is about Hrithik Roshan. Now, Hrithik Roshan, a lot of his stories and his things about him are already on social media, so it was nothing new for me. But learning about Hrithik's grandfather, the senior Mr. Roshan, also his father, more details about him, and Mr. Rajesh Roshan, Hrithik's uncle, that was new information for me, and it was really heart-touching. Hrithik is, we know, a superstar, and even many of the actors who come in to talk about Hrithik, they say Hrithik is a complete package. He can dance, acting, his emotions, he can give you all kinds of emotions. His looks, tremendous. So Hrithik is a complete package is what they say. And they also talk about how Hrithik is focused and dedicated in his work, how he prepares for the film roles, how much hard work he goes into creating that chiseled body and giving that performance. So what was really inspiring and is inspiring about Hrithik is the amount of effort, hard work and dedication and focus he puts into the preparation for each film, and then he delivers it. So this series, should you watch it or skip it? I don't think I need to answer that, because I would watch it many number of times and get inspired. These are legends. They have actually contributed to the industry for about 60 years. And what a family. And so many talented people to have in one family is a tremendous blessing. So hats off, salute to the Roshans. Thank you.